Minutes Peace by Jill Murphy. The children were having breakfast. This was not a pleasant sight. Mrs. Lodge took a tray from the cupboard. She set it with a teapot, a milk jug, her favourite cup and saucer, a plate of marmalade toast, and a leftover cake from yesterday. She stuffed the morning paper into her pocket and sneaked off towards the door. "Where are you going with that tray, Mum?" asked Laura. "To the bathroom," said Mrs. Lodge. "Why?" asked the other two children. "Because I want 5 minutes peace from you lot," said Mrs. Lodge. "That's why." "Can we come?" asked Lester as they trailed up the stairs behind her. "No," said Mrs. Lodge, "you can't." "What shall we do then?" asked Laura. "You can play," said Mrs. Lodge, "downstairs by yourselves, and keep an eye on the baby." "I'm not baby," muttered the little one. Mrs. Lodge ran a deep, hot bath. She emptied half a bottle of bath foam into the water, plonked on her bath hat and got in. She poured herself a cup of tea and lay back with her eyes closed. It was heaven. "Can I play you my tune?" asked Lester. Mrs. Lodge opened one eye. "Must you?" she asked. "I've been practicing," said Lester. "You told me to." "Can I please, just for 1 minute?" "Go on then," said Mrs. Lodge. So Lester played. He played "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" 3.5 times. In came Laura. "Can I read you a page from my reading book?" she asked. "No, Laura," said Mrs. Lodge. "Go on, all of you, off downstairs." "You let Lester play his tune," said Laura. "I heard you like him better than me. It's not fair." "Oh, don't be silly, Laura," said Mrs. Lodge. "Go on then, just 1 page." So Laura read. She read 4.5 pages of Little Red Riding Hood. In came the little one with a trunk full of toys. "For you," he beamed, flinging them all into the bathwater. "Thank you, dear," said Mrs. Lodge weakly. "Can I see the cartoons in the paper?" asked Laura. "Can I have the cake?" asked Lester. "Can I get in with you?" asked the little one. Mrs. Lodge groaned. In the end, they all got in. The little one was in such a hurry that he forgot to take off his pajamas. Mrs. Lodge got out. She dried herself, put on her dressing gown, and headed for the door. "Where are you going now, Mum?" asked Laura. "To the kitchen," said Mrs. Lodge. "Why?" asked Lester. "Because I want 5 minutes peace from you lot," said Mrs. Lodge. "That's why." And off she went downstairs, where she had 3 minutes and 45 seconds of peace before they all came to join her. The end.